you doing? Good, having a good day? Amazing, so nice. So, my name is Yasha Hoffman, and I came all the way over here to Kazakhstan for a whole year just so I could learn about Kazakh instruments and Kazakh musical culture. So you might be wondering, okay, why did you come all the way over here to do that? Well, there's two reasons that I want to tell you about why this is interesting and important for me. So the first one is that Kazakhstan has very many, unique musical instruments. I think most cultures in the world probably, have their own set of unique instruments. But the second reason is that many Kazakh instruments are actually kind of like the progenitors of famous Western classical European instruments. The ones like, for example, you all know about violins? Have you seen violins before? Yeah, cellos. Like the foundation of the Western classical orchestra, the originator of that was kind of, the kolkobas, for example. So we'll show you and we'll tell you about that today a little bit later. So that would be like, for example, like you, for example, if you were modern instruments, so like guitars and violins, and your grandparents, your grandmas, granddads, whatever you call them, were the old instruments, so like the kolkobas or maybe the dombra. Yeah, the jitigen, of course, a very old instrument. Yes, good job. So, yeah, for those reasons, I think it's really interesting, to come here and learn about the instruments. So, with me today are three very special guests, very brilliant musicians, the Trio Kaausar, and that is made up of Ajan, Aygrim, and Janurkia. And so let's give them a round of applause. That's great. So we are going to tell you about a few songs, or a few instruments, and we're going to play you a few songs and cues and melodies. So let's start out with a game. You want to start with a game? Does that sound fun? So let's do this. The musicians are going to play you a song, a cue, and you have to guess what is it about. And I'll tell you one thing, it's about an animal. So you have to guess what animal it's about. So listen carefully and see if you can try to, guess what all of the motions and the notes mean. All right, let's give them a listen. I like seeing the hand raising, very organized. Okay, so yes, U.
Horse?
No, not a horse.
Cheetah?
No, not a cheetah.
It sounds like a bird.
No, it's not a bird. Yes, do you have an idea? No. Yes?
Panda?
No. Think a little bit more local. What kind of animals, are around here? Yeah?
Snow leopard?
Closer, closer. Yeah? Now, so, the snow leopard actually hunts this animal, if that's a hint.
Deer?
Yes?
Dog?
No?
Camel?
No?
Rabbit? Goat?
Yes? Not rabbit. It's a little bit. So this animal has horns.
A bull? A deer? A moose? A bull?
Okay, no, not a moose, but yeah.
A deer? Cow?
Not a cow. All right, one more hint. It lives in the mountains. Yes, I think that's correct. Ahar.
Goat?
Yes, goat. So ahar, I think in English, mountain goat. Yes. Gorny kazon. Anyway, so very good. Okay, great job. You guessed it. All right, so now next question. Who knows what is the Kazakhs' favorite and most important instrument? Just yell it.
Dombra.
Yes, correct. Very good. So I heard that there's even a proverb in Kazakhstan. Let's see. Настоящий казах – это не сам казах, настоящий казах – это dombra. So, the real Kazakh is not even the Kazakh himself, the real Kazakh is a dombra. So that was very interesting for me to learn about, and so when I came here to Kazakhstan, I thought, okay, I'm going to study the dombra. And so I started taking lessons in last September. So what is that, you probably start your school year in September as well, so that's what, 6-7 months out. And before that, I'd never touched a dombra in my life. I'd never actually I don't even play guitar or anything like that. And so I want to play for you today a small melody called Sekirtbe that I learned. How many of you have seen an American play the dombra? A couple people? All right. Most of you haven't. So this will be a treat for, first experience for you. So I hope you enjoy Sekirtbe. So, with the dombras, actually, there is a really fascinating and really ancient legend. Who knows the legend of the dombra? Any of you heard it? Yeah, one person? Very good. Well, I'm going to tell it to you. So, I I think it's such an interesting and fascinating legend. So here's how it goes. Long ago, Genghis Khan ruled the land. Do you all know about Genghis Khan, Genghis Khan? Yeah, you know? So this was, in, I think, the 1200s or the 13th century. And he had a son named Juchi. And Juchi was out hunting one day. He was on a hunting trip. And he was riding his horse, and he had an accident. He fell off his horse. He broke his neck. He died. Now, the news had to reach the Khan, right, obviously, of his son. But the Khan had a law, a rule that if anyone told him any bad news, they would be punished really harshly. They'd be punished, I think, specifically by having hot lead poured down their throat, which would obviously cause them to not exist anymore on this earth in the alive fashion. So, everyone was like, we can't tell you. We can't tell, because no one wants to die telling the Khan this news. And so finally, one smart musician, he thought of this idea. So he took a piece of wood, out of it he carved the dombra. He strung onto it 5 strings, and he went up to the Khan, and he started playing this melody that was so full of sorrow and sadness, and it told the story of the hunt and the fall and the death. And the Khan heard all of this, and he understood it. And after this, he said, okay, you brought me this horrible news that I needed to hear, but now I need to follow through my word. I need to dole out a punishment. But since you didn't open your mouth talking to the musician, I can't punish you. I'll have to punish your instrument. So there's a little hole, let's look at the hole in the dombra right here so it can sound. So they poured hot lead down this hole, and this caused 3 out of the 5 strings to break, leaving us with the 2 strings that we see on the modern dombra. So that's the legend. Now, we have the pleasure, Trio Khaosar is going to perform this legend and this cue is called Aksak Kulan. And so see when they're playing, so they're not going to play on the drum, they're going to play on their beautiful instrument again. And so see if you can hear the story of the hunt and and how the musician is telling the Khan about this news. So could you hear it? Could you hear a little bit of the story? Very good, good. All right, amazing. The next instrument that we're going to talk to you about came to us from ancient times, you know, pretty recently. And actually, it wasn't even a musical instrument at first. It was just a kid's toy, just for kids to play with. So this, who knows what it's called? Anyone know? Yeah? Flute? Very close. It's a type of flute, actually. It's called the sasarnai. And it is made out of clay. In ancient times and in modern times, they only do it out of clay. You see it has those holes on there that you can make the noise, the sounds with. So archaeologists found it while they were excavating the ancient city of Otrar. So Otrar, you know, in ancient times was, you know, a great city, but then some ill-willing Jungars came and attacked it, and they destroyed the city. And then, you know, over time, it got buried under sand or, you know, land. And then only hundreds of years later, in recent times, did archaeologists uncover it. And there, under that excavation, they found that this sasarnai. And so this is a beautiful, you know, melodic instrument that you'll get to hear in just a second. So what's interesting is that, you know, as I mentioned, it used to be a kid's toy, and in modern times, obviously, you know, anyone can still play with it, but it is a member of national ensembles, you know, big orchestras, you know, it has a role in serious professional music in the modern times. So let's hear the little song that the musicians are going to play for us called People. Fantastic. Okay, I think the sounds of this next instrument will be recognizable immediately. You see it up here? Does anyone know what this is called?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know what it's called,
but you
I know what it's used.
Good. Yeah. Any more guesses? I've never heard. Is that possible? I don't think so. Any more? Okay, it's called the shankabuz. Maybe, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it has many different names, and variants of it exist in different people's music and stuff. But so, what's very interesting about it, you can see it has a little. See that little thing on the end of it? It's a little tongue. Just like our tongues, you know, our tongues are very important for us to create sounds. That also is the main feature that, you know, is hit and then it makes the sounds. So let's hear the trio perform a little exhibition, I guess, of the sound, a little song on the shankabuz. What do you think? I heard someone say something beatboxing. What does the sound remind you of? You heard it somewhere? Yes, it's one of those sounds that you kind of hear. Now you know what it looks like. You know, it's a tiny little instrument that makes that sound. Yeah. So, in ancient times, I learned this actually pretty recently. The next instrument There it is, the sibazı. Apparently everyone had to, every student in school or whoever was getting an education had to learn how to play this instrument. And so, long ago everyone was playing this. You see that it is a type of flute. Can you guess what it's made out of?
Clay.
Yes, exactly. Wood or, maybe reeds also as well. So to make it, as you might be able to guess, was pretty easy, very easy actually. All you have to do is hollow out a piece of, wood and put some holes in it. But to learn how to play really well on it, that was the challenge, that was the trick. So that was really hard. And so while many people in the past played on it, only just the select few could really get really good at it. And it really took a lot of work and practice to get good at it. So luckily, our very talented musicians here have put in a lot of work on all these instruments, as you can see. And so they are going to play a beautiful song called Akbayan, which is about it depicts a love story between two young people. So let's hear them play Akbayan. Could you hear the swan?
Yeah.
What specific sounds did you hear? Yeah? Bird sound? Yeah, what kind of bird sound? Just bird? Yeah? Water, you heard the water? Yeah, what else? Wind, you heard some wind, very good. Anything else? Yeah, back there? What? Wind in the air? Very good. Yes, exactly, yeah, yes. And the swan's flying. Yeah, perfect. Great, I'm so glad you heard all of those sounds. So, to close out the program, the Trio Kawsar has prepared a beautiful potpourri of Kazakh songs. So, as a reminder, we have me, my name is Yasha Hoffman, Janirke, Agirim, and Ajan, Trio Kawsar. Thank you so much.
Ага.